Hey, welcome back to the HARLEM FKN GLOBETROTTERS. We are 1 year into the future. We have resigned from PSG. We are going to look at how they have got on without us. Did we leave a good enough legacy, a good enough squad to maybe have lifted the Champions League? Before we get started, while you were last here, we were just looking at the possibility of Messi and Sergio Ramos both retiring. And we were looking at just getting a couple of extra signings done before we left the club. Well, in the end, Messi did confirm his retirement. We asked him to stay on an extra year. He didn't want to. He retired at 35. So we're going to have a look and see where he is right now. Did he go into management as he might have been planning? And also Sergio Ramos also confirmed his retirement. And we were talking to him about the possibility of him becoming a coach. So we're going to see if he is working anywhere now in a staff role. And also, before we get started, you can see here on the screen that Jorge Sampaoli is under pressure in an insecure Marseille job. So it's going to be interesting to see what sort of a season they had. Obviously, they finished second last season to get back into the Champions League. So had a really good year. So what has happened to them over the past 12 months? And also Lyon, I saw as this save game was just getting to the current date, which is the 1st of June 2024, Lyon appointed Gattuso as their new manager. So I'm guessing Lyon didn't have a great season either. I think in the first season of this save, Lyon and Marseille, for me, were the two teams best equipped to challenge PSG, and they didn't really manage to do that. So disappointing for Lyon. So it's going to be interesting to see again what kind of a season those two have had. Let's go to Marseille to get ourselves straight into Ligue 1. So Marseille finished 6th in Ligue 1 this season. I haven't looked at any of this yet, so I'm seeing this for the first time. Paris Saint-Germain are the title holders. We can see here, well, Dani Olmo has the best average rating in the league. So a new signing for PSG there, Dani Olmo. And Jonathan Ikone was top scorer. Erling Haaland, who only missed out on the league on scoring record of 44 goals because he was injured at the end of last season, has only scored 19 this year. So what's happened there to Erling Haaland? Let's have a look at the league table first of all. Did Paris Saint-Germain manage to better our invincible season? They didn't. They lost 5 games. What on earth has happened here? They've gone from invincibles, 1 game away from a 100% domestic season, to now losing 5 and only winning the league by 4 points. What a disaster. They only scored 79 goals the entire season. How many goals did we score last season? We scored 129 goals last season, conceded 18, and the season before that we scored 114 and conceded 26. They have gone from that to scoring 79 and conceding 31. Who is the PSG manager now? I know when we left, Zinedine Zidane was the favourite. He is their manager. And you have to say that is a pretty disastrous season for them. Let's have a look at their results. If we go to their schedule, did they manage to win a Champions League? Let's go right down to the bottom here. They lost in the Champions League quarter-final to Manchester City. They lost both games, home and away. And this has been a very, very poor season for Paris Saint-Germain compared to what we achieved the season previous. See Manchester City there with just pretty much the same team as ever, but they do have Lewandowski now, so an exceptional team. They were Premier League champions both seasons of the save. And if we have a look here, this is pretty much the team that we left. apart from Seiwald. We'll have to have a look and see who he is there. But pretty much the squad that we left, we did max out the transfer budget before we left, but that is very, very poor, and you can see there's no mention of the French Cup either, so it looks like they've gone out of there pretty early. They went out away to Monaco in the French Cup 10th round, and in all of these games they've actually competed pretty much on a level with the rest, with their opponent, with Manchester City, with Monaco, but they haven't been taking their chances. So a big disappointment there. Let's just have a little look at PSG here, and I think we'll have a look at their transfer history. Let's have a look and see what deals they did over the course of the season. So they actually sold 78 million of players. Julian Draxler, who we actually organised that sale before we left. Marco Verratti went to Real Madrid, 24 million, rising to 32.5. Abdou Diallo, who I did so much to keep as a French player, was sold for just short of 20 million. Faitou Moissa, who we signed for, I think 13 million, no, 10 million we signed him for. So they sold him for about the same. So they moved on a lot of the French players that I was trying to keep around for the Champions League squad in terms of Diallo and Moissa. The Croatian guy went to Watford, and then after that a lot of the youth players, there's Jasici, who went on loan to AC Milan. Diego Almeida, the new signing, went on loan to Rodez, as did Namandi Collins, who we signed from Borussia Dortmund, had a season on loan at Metz, and Santiago Garces, another loan. Alexandre Letellier, who again I kept around as a fourth choice goalkeeper with the intention of having him in the Champions League squad and helping as a homegrown player. He went out on loan. And Yassine Adli, who I signed to be a Champions League squad member, was also loaned back to AC Milan. So really they did nothing with the signings that we set up to try and give them a good squad balance for the season. Philip Bungard was loaned out to Antwerp. Now he was looking really good when we left. He now looks very average. Maybe we got to scout out him a little bit, but I'm sure his finishing and first touch were up at 14 last season. They're now down at 13. So he seems like he has regressed while on loan at Antwerp. That's disappointing. We tried to lower the squad age and we tried to add a lot more French players. If we look on the ins, so Dani Olmo was the big signing for 69 million. I'm guessing he must have been a January signing. I think so, judging by the fact that he's only played 19 games. I think he would have come in January because we really didn't leave any money for transfers. World-class central midfielder, can play on either wing. That looks to me like a really good, solid signing. 11 goals in 19 games, plus 5 assists. So he has done really well, to be fair. I think that's an exceptional signing. Then we've got Ibanez, who of course was one of our final signings before we left. Had a decent enough season, played 37 games, a 6.99 rating. Perhaps a little bit disappointing given the price. Madueke, signed from PSV. You have to say that's a poor season. He's come in on the right wing to basically replace Messi and Di Maria. So 5 goals and 3 assists from him is not good at all. That kind of doesn't look like the best signing, does it? Disappointing there, certainly obviously not on Messi levels. Now Nicholas Seiwald, signed from Salzburg. Again, not a great signing in terms of how he's performed. Again, we can't see all of his stats here, but I mean, he looks like a solid enough defensive midfielder. I guess they've come in for him with the idea of him replacing Idrissa Gueye. He hasn't been that great, really, has he? I think he looks like he would probably be a pretty good squad player. They've also got here, they've actually spent a lot of money. I'm not quite sure where all this money came from. They've signed Kovacic from Chelsea. Again, a good, solid central midfielder. I would argue he's not better than what they already had. I guess he's come in as the Verratti replacement. We did look at him during the time here, but we decided against going for him. He wasn't really that much of an upgrade on what we had, or really not an upgrade at all. And then we've got some interesting little players here down the bottom. Emilio Aristizabal is actually a player that unfortunately we can't see his stats there. We signed him before we left just as a very cheap 17-year-old, $500,000 he cost, as a young striker, maybe one for the future. When we come back in 5 years' time, we'll see if he got anywhere near the first team. Samuel Umtiti, we confirmed his signing before we left. That was our last move in the transfer market. You see, only played 3 games the whole season, twice in the Champions League, once in Ligue. He did agree to come in as an emergency backup, but I really thought that he would play more of a part than he has. Good to see our second team now in Nacional 2. They weren't playing games previously, so that's handy for them to actually have games to play now. So that's really disappointing that Samuel Umtiti didn't play a bigger part. And there was Alvaro Odriozola bought in on loan from Real Madrid. Who is this guy? So a 21-year-old right back who they didn't really need with Nicolas Soulé and of course Hakimi at right back. They really didn't need anyone there, but he's played 15 games in Ligue 1. So I have to say, I think overall, outside of Dani Olmo and maybe Kovacic, I think that's pretty poor transfer dealing. Certainly letting Diallo and Moissa go and reducing the amount of French players in the Champions League squad is not very good strategy, I don't think. Let's have a look at their tactics, see what they were playing. So, well, I think actually we're going to have to look at their best 11. Let's have a look. So this is this the historical best 11? Yes, it would be, because Messi is in there, along with Sergio Ramos. Can we change this to the current season? There we go. So this was basically the team that they were playing. Barella with Olmo and Seiwald behind them in midfield. Disappointing to see him playing a defensive midfielder when the whole team was really set up for that number 10. Then Marquinhos and Ibanez playing together. Surprised not to see Kimpembe there ahead of Marquinhos, who was consistently a better performer over the last 2 seasons. Outside of that, it's basically the team that we left set up, with Neymar on the left and Madueke coming in on the right there. So Wijnaldum still involved in midfield. He played 38 games over the season. Paulo Dybala, I'm guessing he was playing mostly as a substitute. And Andrea Belotti only had 13 appearances, 6 goals for him. Thomas Lemar played 30 games. I thought he would be the right winger ahead of Madueke. But yeah, overall, I'm really, really disappointed here. Yeah, this has kind of brought me down now. I thought they would have a much, much better season. I thought we really had them set up for a chance at winning the Champions League. If we look here, so Neymar played the most games through the season. In terms of goals, it was really only Haaland, Neymar and Dani Olmo that scored any quantity of goals. Nicolo Barella, now playing obviously as a more offensive midfielder, scored 9 goals. And then Thomas Lemar and Paulo Dybala. I thought actually Paulo Dybala maybe would have just been an impact sub, but He actually started more games than he came on as sub. Only scored 7 goals, so big disappointment from him. This is really, really depressing now. If we look at assists, Erling Haaland was the top assister on the team. Last season we had Messi with 13 assists in the league, Hakimi with 15, Neymar I think with 16 in the league. This is really, really depressing. It looks like Zinedine Zidane has turned Paris Saint-Germain into a really, really defensive team. Really, really disappointing this. What else happened in the league? If we just go back to the league here. So Bordeaux are in a playoff to avoid relegation. Angers and Dijon are down. Marseille just snuck into the European Conference League. Lyon had a really great season there. What happened? That makes me think, what happened to Farias, who obviously I thought would get involved a lot more this season. Monaco and Lille once again qualifying for the Champions League, and Nice looking like a strong team now as Lyon finished 8th and outside the European spots again. Let's go back to Paris Saint-Germain just for a moment and see, where is Farias in the squad? Is he in the second team? Where is Farias? He's not in the second team from what I can see. So is he in the first team squad and just wasn't playing? Let's put them by position. And so Facundo Farias only played 6 games this season. What a huge disappointment. I thought he'd be a really, really important player for them moving forward. Oh, this is just such a depressing season in the end. Let's go back. I didn't look. Who did win the French Cup? So Lille won the French Cup. Let's have a look at the final. So it was Lille and Monaco in the final. What a shame. What a depressing season after what we achieved. I guess it really shows the difference between how the AI has approached this team compared to what we were doing. If we look at, actually, if we go back to Paris Saint-Germain's, profile and we have a look on the Champions League. So Liverpool, it looks like, have won the Champions League 3 years in a row. No, they haven't. The final has not been played yet, which is strange considering we're in June. Who's in the semi-final? So Manchester City lost to Borussia Dortmund in their semi-final, and Bayern Munich beat AC Milan. So it's an all-German final. And where did Liverpool finish? So they lost to AC Milan in the quarter-final. Chelsea losing out to Borussia Dortmund there. Manchester United nowhere to be seen. This has been a really, really strange season. It's been a real break from the norm. Normally in Football Manager, you kind of get a long period of the status quo before things start to change. But this seems to have kind of changed up quite quickly. Who won the Europa League in the end? Let's have a look. Is it recognized as Europa League, or is it called something else? UEFA Europa League. Arsenal, we saw on the initial screen that they were the winners. They beat Roma in the final. Gabriel Martinelli doing very well there. So why don't we have a look at the Premier League? Let's see who won the Premier League. Manchester City were the dominant team there. And they have won it again. They have won 3 seasons on the bounce, or it would now be 4 because they would have won the season prior. So Manchester United, Chelsea and Liverpool, again, the dominant teams there, maintaining the status quo there. But you can see Manchester City only lost 3 games, 97 points. Manchester United doing very well. Robert Lewandowski, the top scorer in the league for Manchester City, while Mo Salah was second and the highest rated player in the league. So interesting there. Finish off here. Let's have a look and see who has won the awards. If we look for the Ballon d'Or winner, let's have a look at who's won that. Let's see if that's going to come up. So the World Golden Ball. So we're in the world now. So Erling Haaland has won the Ballon d'Or again. His goals from last season really helping him out because he didn't have a great goal scoring season this year, but he's still got 49 and 39 taking into account what he did last season. And Jamal Musiala, now a Real Madrid player, he was on loan with an option to buy last season, so he has done really, really well there as a winger, if that is where they've been playing him, to score 30 goals in 58 and have 15 assists. Absolutely exceptional. Mo Salah third. So that's really impressive. Now let's have a look. So if we're on the world, what other awards can I see? So we've got the Golden Ball, World Goalkeeper of the Year. Did Donnarumma come anywhere there? No. Let's have a look. The Goal 50 award. Erling Haaland has won the Goal 50 ahead of Kylian Mbappe, who is still at Real Madrid and scored 29 in 44. The Next Gen award. Moukoko at Borussia Dortmund, looking fantastic. He and Jude Bellingham, the last couple of winners there. And Guillermo Hernandez, a 17-year-old from Monterrey. What a shame we can't see more of him. He's come in third place there. Let's have a look. World Footballer of the Year was Erling Haaland again. Of course, he just swept up last season. I think his stats from the second half of last season are really helping him to have retained these trophies. He's also retained the World Player of the Year. And if we have a look at the world, who's the World Under 21? Jamal Musiala, twice in a row, World Under 21 Footballer of the Year. And if we look at the World Team of the Year, Erling Haaland, he was also the only one of our players in it last season. If we look, no, Messi was in there as well. So Haaland and Messi were placed in there last season representing PSG. No longer obviously Messi because he's not playing. Let's see, what is he doing now? He is an unemployed manager, so he hasn't been anywhere since the end of last season. I think there's not much else to look at here. Let's have a look and see where Sergio Ramos ended up. Did Sergio Ramos become a staff member? Did he decide to stay in the game? So he is an unemployed manager as well. He looks even worse than Messi in terms of his ability. So it'll be interesting to see when we come back in 5 years, where are they? Are they working? Did they stay in the game? Did anybody offer them a job? I think just to finish off, I would like to go back to look at, if we click on Haaland and then click back into PSG, I would like to see where did Jimmy end up? Let's have a look at Ligue 1. We'll have a look at the table again. So Troyes managed to survive in Ligue 1. Very pleased for them. And if we have a look at their players, Jimmy played 35 games, 33 games in Liga, 35 games this season. Pretty poor rating. He's now 32, but really pleased that he has managed to stay in Liga, and he will get another season there next season. Pleased for him. I did want to sign him, but at the end of last season, with getting Samuel Umtiti into the PSG squad, we left ourselves with absolutely no budget, so we couldn't get a deal done for Jimmy. But he's obviously had a good season, survived in Ligue 1 with Troyes, And yeah, I think if Samuel Umtiti only got 3 games for PSG this season, Jimmy would have got even less. So there you go. So that's how the season looks. 1 year on from our departure, Paris Saint-Germain really have dropped. Let's leave it there for today. We will come back in another 4 years. We will see if the last 5 years have been kind to Paris Saint-Germain. Can Erling Haaland regain his form? Can they possibly win a Champions League under Zinedine Zidane? With this formation and the way he seems to have been playing, I really, really doubt it, but hopefully we can be surprised. We'll be back for the next episode in another 4 years' time. We'll see how they're going in 2028. If you've liked this video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel for us, help us out, and we'll see you for the next one.